Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Faizal B. Ibrahim. My student ID 2021266926. Today I'll be presenting about my project, which is creating a simple network. In this project, there will be a few topic outline. It will be the overview of the project, the objective of the project, network connection, network topology, technology use, network setup, network monitoring tools, and also the conclusion. The overview of the project, we assume that we actually required to design a network for a small company, which is called as a company ABC, that could support both wired and wireless network. Company ABC consists of three departments, which is the finance department, HR department, and also sales department. So all of the department is connected to one network with a main server. So in our network, we use an FTP server, two local area network, and also one wireless network. The objective for the project, the first one is actually we are required to set up a simple network using simulation tools, which is called as a Cisco Packet Tracer. The second objective is actually to share file between the PC or the devices in a network using command prompt. The next one is to check a connection between devices in a network using command prompt. The next one is to check the IP address of devices that connected to our network using a command prompt. And the next one is to view a list of stations that connected in our network using a command prompt. And the next one is actually to send message between devices in the network. And the last one is to provide or name a network monitoring tools that available to monitor our network. There will be four technology that we use in our network, which is the first one is router, switch, wireless access point called as WAP, and also server. So a router is actually a device that connects two or more packet switches network or subnetwork. It serves two primary functions, managing traffic between this network by forwarding data packet to their intended IP address and allowing multiple devices to use the same internet connection. So what is actually switch? Switch is actually a high-speed device that receives incoming data packet and redirect them to their destination on a local area network. And what is a wireless access point, also known as WAP? Wireless access point is actually a networking device that allows Wi-Fi device to connect to a wired network. They form a wireless local area network, also known as WLAN. And the last one is server. Server is actually a computer designed to process, request, and deliver data to another computer or devices over the internet or local network. The word server is understood by most to mean a web server where web page can be accessed over the internet through a client like a web browser. So in our network, we're actually using the FTP server, which is all the devices can connect to this server to download all the files and so on. So for the network topology in our project, we actually use both physical and logical topology. So our main network topology that we use actually a star topology as our network structure. So why we are choosing a star topology is because we actually using a router type 2811 as a central hub, and every node is connected to the router by using copper straight through wire. So the second option why we are choosing a star topology because the limited failure in the network, and also it's because it is actually less expensive, and the main important part is actually it is actually easy to install. There will be two connection in our project or network, which is the first one is a wired connection called as local area network LAN. So this wired connection, the switch and Ethernet cabling are used in a wired LAN to link endpoint, server, and device. So physical conductor from one device to another, including twisted pair wire, and Ethernet connection that we are using in this network, we use copper straight through and copper crossover cables. So the second connection that we use in our project is actually a wireless connection or WLAN connection that transport electromagnetic wave without using any physical conductor, means that it will not using any cable, so just using an electromagnetic wave. So we are using wireless network only in the sales department in this company. So the reason why is because most of the sales staff actually are using a personal laptop, and they actually move around in the office, so it will be easier for them to connect to the network using the wireless connection. So now I'll be presenting about the step-by-step to set up a network, which is I'll do a demonstration using the Cisco Packet Tracer. Okay, now I will demonstrate on how to create a simple network using Cisco Packet Tracer. So when you open the application, you can see there will be a blank page. You just need to click new, which is the new project. It will show you the blank page. So what you need to do, you need to plan what will be your network looks like. For my project, we are using four technology, which is server, router, switch, and also the wireless access point. Okay, so first we need to drag the server. You just choose from the end devices, choose the server and put here. There will be your main server. And then on down there will be a router. You just choose a router here. So we are using a router 2811. So there will be three switch for this project. We are using a 2960 switch. So just put all the switches here. And then we are using the wireless access point. You just put wireless access point. So this will be for the sales team. Okay. So the reason why there will be three switch because we are having three department, which is the sales team, finance, and also the HR department. So the each of the department will be assigned with one switch. Okay, the first one we will assign for the department of finance. For finance department, there will be three devices. We put here the PC1, PC0, PC1, and PC2. And for the next one is HR department. HR department also there will be three PC, three PC4 and PC5. And the next one is sales department. For sales department, they are using the wireless access network. So there will be two personal laptop here and one printer. Okay, so after you uh, put all the devices in your network, what you need to do, you need to assign each of the devices with the IP address. So you can just create your own IP address for this device. So for me, for the easy reference, I will just put first the node is beside the device to make sure that I can just refer back what will be the IP address for this device. For example, let's say for server, I will assign IPv4 address as 192.168.1.2 and the default gateway will be 192.168.1.1. So just do the same for each of the device. For example, let's say here I'll do for finance department for PC0. PC0 I will assign the IP address as 192.168.2.2 and then default will be 192.168.2.1. Just do for all the devices. Repeat the same thing. Okay, now you already complete assigning in the node for each of the IP address for each of the device. So what you need to do now, you need to connect each of the devices with a cable. So what you need to do, you just need to connect all devices into the router. So for this router, there will be only two ports available for the Ethernet cable. So what you need to do, you just need to click on the router and you can see here switch off the router. You choose NM2F 2 fast Ethernet 2W. You can see here, just drag the port here. So now you will be having four available port for the fast Ethernet cable. So switch on again the router and then you can go to the config. Alright, so now you can see your router already have four Ethernet port for the connection, which is one will be going to the server, one will be going to the finance department switch, next one is a HR department switch, and then the sales department switch. So now you can connect using the connection, choose the automatically choose connection type, and just put all the connect everything. Alright. Okay, so the next step is actually to configure the IP address for each of the device. So we will start with the PC, which is the PC device here. We will go for the finance department, click on the PC. You can see there will be a desktop, click on IP configuration and put the IPv4 address. For this IP we assign is 192.168.2.2. Subnet mask will automatically appear and default gateway 192.168.2.1. That's it. You already complete assigning the IP address for this PC0. Just do the same for each of the devices. Okay, after you're done assigning the IPv4 address for each of the device, you need to configure your router. You just click on the router. You can see on the left side there will be a fast Ethernet 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0 and 11. So fast Ethernet 00 will be for the first port where it will be connected to the finance department. So finance department default gateway will be 192.168.2.1. Then you switch on the port. You need to click the on button here. The protocol will be state to up. So the fast Ethernet 01 will be assigning to the server. You just put the IP, the default gateway for the server, 192.168.1.1 and switch on. Same goes to the 1010 assigned to the HR department, 192.168.3.1. Switch on. Fast Ethernet 1, it will be going to the sales team. Default gateway will be 192.168.4.1. Switch on. So now you already complete assigning each port to each of the switches from your router. So it will be connected here. After you're done configure your router, then we need to configure the sales department wireless access network for the laptop or the user to connect to the wireless network. So how to do that? You just need to click the access point. Just go to the port 1. You just create your SSID. For my project, I will create as a company ABC, and then authentication you put as WEP, and then create the WEP key. I'll put as 123456789. So now you already have your own wireless connection in this company or this network. So in order for the laptop to connect to the wireless network, you need to configure the laptop. So if you notice here, this laptop don't have the internet connection or uh, the suitable wireless hardware to connect to the network. So what you need to do, you just remove the LAN port, the Ethernet port. You choose WPC300N and drag to the laptop and switch on the laptop. So now this laptop will be able to connect to the wireless network. So how to connect to the wireless network? You click for desktop, PC wireless. You can see here that there will be a connection for the wireless connection. You click on connect and then you can see that the laptop will be scanning for the wireless network available, which is company ABC. Click on it and then connect. Key in the WEP key 123456789 and then click connect. You can see here the status you have successfully connected to the access point. So means that this laptop already connected to the access point. You just do the same to the laptop 1. Alright, now you can see that in your network, each of the devices is already connected to each other. So this is actually how you can create your own network using the Cisco Packet Tracer. This will be a step-by-step to share files between the devices. Okay, now I will demonstrate on step-by-step how to share files between the devices. So in our network, we do have a server. This means that each of the devices they can transfer the file to the server and it can be downloaded by the other devices. For example, let's say from PC0 want to transfer the file to the server and then download it by the PC5. So how are we going to do that? So first we need to click on the server, go to the service, go to the FTP. So here is actually for us to create our login ID for the server. For example, let's say here you can just create the username. For my project, I'll put the username as admin. The password is 12345, and then you need to click on the box right, read, delete, rename, and list. So after you're done creating your login for the server, you need to go to the PC0, open the command prompt, and then you just type dir to check. So in this PC0, there will be only one file, which is a sample file txt. So how we going to create the file from this PC? You go to the desktop text editor, and for this I will create a file. This is a simple project, simple network. So I will save the file as uh, task.txt. Okay. You go back to the command prompt, you type dir. You can see that in this file, you already created a file called task.txt. So how to transfer to the server? First, you need to connect to the server. So this server, how to connect to the server? You just type FTP and key in the IP address of the server 192.168.1.2. You will connect to the server. You key in the username admin and password 12345. It will appear that you already logged into the server. So first, you just check on the directory for the server. So if you can see here, there is no file name as task.txt. So how to transfer the file to the server? You type put task.txt. So the transfer in progress, transfer complete. You check again the directory. Now you can see that the file name task.txt is already uploaded to the server. Then you just quit. Okay, so how to transfer the file to another devices? So you need to access from the other devices. For example, let's say the user from PC5 would like to download the file. So you just go to the PC5, click on desktop, click on command prompt. You check the directory. So there is no file named task.txt. So you need to do the same thing, which is connect to the server using the FTP 192.168.1.2. Point two, login. Okay, now you already access to the server. You just check the directory again. So there will be a task.txt. How to download the file? You just type get task.txt. So the transfer is progress, transfer complete. So now means that the task.txt already transferred to the PC5 directory. How to check that? You just quit from the server. You check the directory for PC5. You see here that the task already downloaded and saved into the PC5. So this is actually how to step by step to share file between the devices. Now I will be presenting the step by step to check a connection between devices using a command prompt. So how to do that, we call it a ping, which is we need to ping other PC or devices and waiting for the reply. So how to check that? For example, let's say I will need to check the connection between PC0 to PC3. So click on PC0, click on desktop command prompt, just type ping and then the IP address of PC3 192.168.3.2. Sorry, 192. Type again ping 192.168.3.2. So now is the ping is in progress. Okay, you can see here there is a reply from the PC3. So there will be a status of the summary of the connection, which is the send the packet sent is 4, receive 3, lost 1. So as long as the loss is less than the receive, so we can consider that the connection is good. So we can try again for another PC, for example PC2, check for PC5, go to the desktop, command prompt, type ping, PC5 address 192.168.3.4. Alright, so the packet sent is 4, receive 4, and there is no loss. So now I can consider that for this network, each of the device is connected to each other. Okay, and now the next objective is actually I will demonstrate the step-by-step to check the IP address of the connected devices in our network. Okay, now I'll demonstrate the step-by-step how to check the IP address of devices that connected to our network. So for this demonstration, I will choose for PC2. I will check what will be the IP address assigned to PC2 using a command prompt. So first open the PC2 desktop and command prompt. So here you just type ipconfig. So it will appear the summary of this PC2. It will say here that the IPv4 address 192.168.2.4 and then the default gateway as well. So this is actually one of the options that you can do in order to check the IP address of the devices that connected to our network. And the next one is I will demonstrate about the step-by-step to view list of station connected. Now I will demonstrate on step-by-step to view or list of the station that connected in the network. So in order to do so, I will need to check from the router. So you just need to click on the router, click on CLI, press enter. So now you need to type a command, show IP interface brief. So now it will appear that there will be 4 stations connected to the router, which is the fast Ethernet 00011011, and then the IP address for each of the connection, and then the method and also the status, which is up. So protocol is up. So means that all the station is connected to the router. Okay, now I will demonstrate on the step by step on how to send a message between the devices. Okay, now I will demonstrate on how to or the step by step to send a message between devices in the network. This is actually the important part where you can check either each of the devices in your network is connected to each other and there is no issue with your network connection. So how to do so? So you just need to click here, add simple PDU. You just click from PC0 or the target that you wanna test, for example PC0 to PC5. So you can see down here there will be a status which is successful. Let's say if you wanna see the simulation, you can just click on simulation. You can play the simulation. So now you can see that the message has been sent to the switch, and then it was sent to the router, from router to the switch of the finance department, and then it will go to the PC5. PC5 will transfer back to switch, transfer to the router, switch in the finance department, and go back to the PC0. So means that the send of the file is completed or the message is complete. So you can see the status here is showing as successful. So you can also do that for each of the devices in your network. For example, let's say you can try to do the PC1, go to PC4. So now it's showing failed. You can try again. Now it's successful. And then you can try again, maybe PC2 to PC3, successful. And then PC2 to the sales department using a wireless connection, fail. You can try again for the laptop 0 to PC2, for example. Is showing that successful. So means that now your network with either the local area network using the Ethernet cable is working fine, and also the wireless connection also working fine. Network monitoring tools is actually one of the tools that constantly track or analyze and report the availability, health, and performance of the network. So in this project, we need to choose one of the network monitoring tools because this is include the networking hardware, interface, storage devices, virtual environment, and other essential component. So our network monitoring tool that we select or choose is actually Isinga, is an open source computer system and network monitoring application. It was originally created as a fork of the Negio system monitoring application on 209. So the advantage of Isinga is actually because it's actually a wealth of community developed plugin. Despite some older style interface, the dashboard is easy to manage and understand, and also it has a stable code base as well. So as a conclusion for this project, we actually learn how to create a simple network using a simulation Cisco packet tracer. And also we actually learn about the function of network devices and the connection between devices, wired and wireless. And the next one is actually we learn how to explain theoretical ideas and develop the field of data networking and communication. And the last, we actually can observe how communication between the department can be run smoothly and how the file can be transferred from the PC to another using FTP server. That's all from me. Thank you so much.